and recording.
Hello everybody, thank you for dialing into today's session. My name is Rhys Lewis and I'm joined with my colleague Lewis Guy. So we'll just give it another moment or two to ensure that everybody is into today's session. So whilst we're waiting for that, for those of you that are in, there's a little chat log within Zoom. So why don't we start with a quick check to ensure that you can see my screen okay and that you can hear me okay. Maybe just type in the name of the company that you work for or the city you live in, whatever you fancy telling us, and I'll then know that you can hear me okay and that you can see me okay. So feel free to let me know, Shannon or Lewis, if you can see those coming through. Perfect. So yeah, I know that person. Let's just make sure that everyone else can as well. So in the chat log, if you just put your name or company name, whatever you fancy, and we're good to go. Perfect. Looks and sounds great. Okay, right then. So today's session, first of all, we're proud to be part of the CitA Tech Live this year. We were with the team in person last year. Great event, and under different circumstances this time round, which quite ironic that our talk is around the theme we took was COVID, and our talk today is around socially distant collaboration, talking about how our technology is really helping companies to continue to work with the new norm. So I'm Business Development Director for Revizto, and Lewis Guy on the call is our technical lead for construction. So maybe you can say hello, Lewis. Quick mic check for yourself as well.
Yeah, no, hi everyone.
Perfect. So the session will be recorded and shared with everybody afterwards, so let's get to it. So our platform, for those of you that don't know, is an integrated collaboration platform based on top of a gaming engine, and it's about accessibility, democratization, and helping organizations communicate and collaborate whilst not being in the same office or being in different locations. It's about bringing everybody together into one place so we can start to understand what's going on and make smarter decisions sooner. And that's what Revizto is all about. So the company name Revizto actually means visual check in Latin. Go check it for yourself. Spelled slightly differently. That's another story. And it's got nothing to do with Revit, but we do have a Revit plugin, and we also have plugins for ArchiCAD and Tekla and MicroStation. We support point clouds, reality capture, and so on and so forth. So we can bring in together lots and lots of different data sets, which means we can stay in our home office and look at project information and start to communicate with the team. So yeah, I work for Revizto, been in the industry for a little while. I wear a couple of hats there. Today it's with Revizto. So we've got a number of clients that's growing rapidly. There's some names on the screen there that you're probably familiar with, but anybody really in construction is faced with the same challenge and similar challenges as we're speaking on this topic today of accessing project data in a unique way. What we see commonly, Lewis and I, when we speak to organizations for the first time, is the disconnect there is across multiple communication streams on project, and when people are not able to sit together in the same office space. So we've got teams looking at drawings that have been printed out, which is a bit more difficult now if you're not in the office environment and don't have access to a printer. So they tend to get marked up and an email sent to the recipient. There's 2D markup tools or the snipping tool where we can send information that way. Model viewers, there's lots of them, but they're not connected, a lot of them, to the 2D information and vice versa. So that adds another communication stream. And then when we get into the more technical review of bringing all of this information together, clash detection, there's a myriad of ways to share that information as well. So via PDF, BCF, and so on and so forth. This is very, very difficult to manage when you've got a team of people using different processes, different technologies, and in different locations. So context switching is something that every project team struggles with. basically what we're saying here, or what Harvard put together this report, is we're losing productivity, and in this ever competitive environment, we want to ensure that we're getting the absolute best from our team, our colleagues, and the technology that we've invested in. So this context switching way of working is something that we've addressed, and Revizto has been available for 8-9 years now. So you can do a lot of the stuff that we've just talked about in our platform whilst working remotely. So with that in mind, I will just jump straight into the application actually. So I think I'll try and tether my iPad into this session as well. So let's come out here and take a look at a project that we've got access to. So here's Revizto. We're lucky today that we've got somebody technical on the call, Lewis, my colleague. So in here you can see my project Workspace. So there's lots of different types of projects that Revizto is used on. It could be an infrastructure project, an airport, a hospital. It doesn't really matter. What we look at today is one of the smaller projects we've got access to, which is a hospital somewhere in Australia. Lewis, right? Correct me if
yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, me too. So that will do. It's a build-in. So in the application here, starting at the top, we've got 3 buttons effectively across the top. 2D, here's all of our 2D information. Some architectural drawings there. We've got a model that's come in from a variety of places. So this could be from Revit, Navisworks, IFC, a point cloud, and we'll talk about getting that information through in a second. And then here is the important part. So this is now where all of our information around project-based tasks lives. So in here you can see we've got marked up drawings. We've got model information that's been reviewed. So if I just reset the filters there, you can start to see a wide range of tasks, issues, questions. So I think we've got some clashes in here as well. So let's take a look here. So everything now is combined in this nice, lightweight, user-friendly interface. So we can start to track what's going on much, much quicker. So first of all, let's start right at the beginning. So I'm just going to take a look at this architectural floor plan. Lewis has actually set this project up. So what we've done here in Revit and in Navisworks and all of the tools that we support, I'll just show you the slide actually because I think that's important. We have a plugin for all of these authoring systems. So various project team members could be bringing it. Let's say the architect has brought in their drawings and model from Revit, the structural engineer from Tekla, and we've got some information from the MEP team from AutoCAD. So all of that is now federated here in the Revizto space. So we need to get it there. So we can do that here, and I won't dwell on this. We don't have too much time today. We set the project up by exporting the information from our authoring package. There's a number of things that I can take through here. You can see quite a nice tool here is the ability to set this automation up. So this will run now every Friday, let's say 7 o'clock. Everybody's doing this. And we can take through the drawing sheets here. So we just take everything through, click OK, and this will export now for me once a week automatically. And it's now available here in Revizto, where we can keep a log of all of the revisions. So let's talk about some problems we have on this drawing sheet. So first thing to mention is the drawings, the model, and all of the issues are tightly interconnected, and that's because our issue tracker is based on the project's coordinate system. Now, for me, not being a technical architect, maybe I'm the client here, and I just want to understand what this floor plan means in 3D. We've got this green icon here. If I click on that, that will now automatically overlay that 2D information on the 3D model for me. So this is a really, really powerful communication tool. Great. But for somebody like Lewis, this helps him to add another dimension to the way he coordinates his project. We may have different consultants using different tools, one working in 2D, one working in 3D. We can now combine that information and check 2D against 3D information. And everything I'm showing you today, we could do on our tablets. So let's go back here. So I'm just going to interrogate this drawing. Let's take a measurement here, and we want to understand what the dimension is between these two walls. We've had a conversation with the team, and we need this to be a wider to meet some fire regulation. So anywhere now in Revizto, we've got this plus icon. And in Revit, we've got the plus icon on Navisworks. So no matter where you are, the process now of creating a task or an issue is exactly the same. So there's no confusion about how do I create it, where do I log it. Revizto takes care of all of that. So let's just position this marker, which is intelligent. It sits on the project coordinate system. I've got a myriad of tools here to mark this up, but in the interest of time today, we'll just keep this simple. And we'll say needs to be 2.5 meters for fire regulation. Something like that. Okay, so we click done. That gets logged. We can get as creative with the colors and the styles here as we want. But I've not had enough coffee today, so that's as creative as I'm feeling. Fire reg issue. Give it a name, click done. And then what that does is it automatically logs that issue for me here in the issue tracker. So it's given it a unique ID, and it now sits along all of the other tasks here in Revizto. Now, rather than having to print out a drawing, I may not be able to, I'm not in the office today, or create a PDF and send an email and all of that stuff we sort of just touched on. Let me clear my notifications here so people know I'm in the middle of something. I'm just going to fill in these fields. So it's been logged, and I'm going to go through this list of information. So here are all the people I've invited to the project by clicking share and giving them various permissions. So certain people can and can't do certain things, very important. So I'm just going to assign this to Lewis Guide. Now, in the interest of this, working collaboratively whilst not being, sat next to one another, just wanted to demonstrate how Revizto can help you do that. So I've assigned this to Lewis. Lewis is in London. I'm in sunny South Wales, and he will have received a notification now in real time, and he will have been sent an email. But I want this information to be added as well. So I want him to be aware of how important that issue is when I'd like him to take a look at this file. So hello from London, Lewis is online. You probably heard that ping, but you can see now there's no need to wait for emails to be sent through or for Lewis to respond there. I've now got a notification in real time. So from a project perspective, we can see things are being delivered, and we've got a full audit trail of who did what, when, where, and why. So if we need to jump back to a problem or a task or an issue, we can find it very quickly and easily, and then understand what's gone on. Some other information here as well. Maybe we'll add this as architectural issue. We've created some tags, and these are really useful because all of these fields now allow us to provide rich reports. So if I just click on this reporting icon, in here, we've actually got a number of, too many dashboards open there. Let's just take a look at this clean one. This is taking us to the workspace where Lewis created some PDF reports here based on a site walk that we did last week with a client. If I just take a look at this dashboard, this now is being fed directly from Revizto whenever any of these issues or tasks are created, updated, or amended. So I'm not having to spend an hour or two a week collating information from emails, PDF reports, whatever it is. Everything's collected and reported for me here automatically. Show me all of the clash assigned to the architect on this project, please. Here they all are, all updated. I can see who has what assigned to them, the status of them, and these colors refer to statuses. So wherever we're looking at issues, that color gives us an indication on the status of it. So there in the dashboard, here in the issue tracker, we can see these red ones have been opened, and off we go. So we've created an issue in 2D. I just want to sort of explain the picks and clicks so you understand the mechanics here. So Lewis has come online, picked up that issue. I'm now going to change the status to in progress. Lewis will deal with it, mark it as solved, for me to then review and close out. So Lewis can't close issues. That's my job, and only I have the permission to do that. Okay, a bit more on this before we speed up a little bit. So this issue we position on this drawing sheet here, I mentioned it being intelligent and based on the project's coordinate system. I'm more traditional. I prefer to look at these construction drawings. Lewis prefers to be in the 3D space. So if I click on 3D, that's now taking me directly to that federated 3D area in Revizto instantly. So now Lewis is much more informed about what and where that issue is. Where he now saves much more time is locating where this issue is in his ArchiCAD, Revit, Tekla file. So traditionally what we hear is somebody's going to spend 5, 10, 15 minutes trying to find that drawing sheet. So in Revit, all I have to do is link this project to Revizto. I've done that, so I'm just going to synchronize for now. If I double click on this blue box, just watch what happens. Well, if this drawing sheet is linked in this Revit file, hopefully it is, we'll find out. There we go. That now takes Lewis directly to where he needs to be. So we haven't had to pick up the phone and speak to somebody in another office, or have the luxury of tapping somebody in the shoulder in the same office. Revizto is doing a lot of those manual tasks on our behalf so we can get the job done. Okay. And then that's now going to get updated. We've got the schedule running weekly. So what we can then do is check that that's been done by clicking on the 3D or 2D information in a week's time, and that will show me the most up-to-date drawing sheet to close that out or not. And you can see here on that drawing sheet now that I've actually got access to every single issue that affects that drawing sheet, color-coded by its status, and we'll touch on that in a bit more detail. Right, let's jump to 3D now. So if I come back to 2D here, jump to 3D, click in that room, and that takes me in here. So I'm not a technical user of some of these tools. However, Revizto adds another dimension now to the way I can review this information. So I'm going to use the gaming controls. There's a number of things I can adjust here. But in 3D, using the gaming controls, I'm in fly mode now. I can start to navigate through this very large technical space without having to learn how to use some of these technical tools, which is great because I'm not an architect or an engineer, and I don't have a very powerful machine. I can start to do this now directly in Revizto on my tablet or my device. So I can fly through these walls, floors, and interrogate what's going on here. And then, more importantly, ask a question. So something else, all of this is, it's an information model. It will now display to us all of this information that's come through as part of the export. And Revizto 5 allows us to do much more now with the data in the project here, where we can start to provide custom sets and understand where everything is. We can take measurements. Let's cut a section through here. So maybe I want to cut a section through that particular area. And I don't know, let's create another issue. So let's imagine that there's something that needs to change here in the service space, and we'll create another issue. Now, you remember how we create an issue in Revizto. We've got the plus icon there. So I'm just going to punch that there. We'll mark this up. I'll speed up a little bit now. So again, same process. We'll just call this an issue with MEP. Click done. That's been logged. Let's give it another name here. Done, logged, and that's been put here in the issue tracker. We'll fill in these fields as well. We'll give it a deadline. I'll assign that to Lewis again, and give it a priority, and that'll do for now. I'm not going to fill in these fields today. I'm feeling lazy. That'll move me quite nicely onto my next point. So the process here of creating an issue in 2D and 3D is exactly the same way, and they've been logged here in one place. All of this, in the meantime, is being distributed and communicated to the team in real time, whilst all of our reports now are being updated in real time as well. So that's refreshed and updated accordingly. Lewis is still fixing the fire egg issue from before, fine, but we know now that's been logged and it's in progress. Great. This works the same way. So 3D, if we mark up in 3D, it'll tell us where those issues are across any single drawing that's been brought in from anyone in the project we've invited. The big win here for Lewis is he explains to me, and feel free to jump in here, Lewis, when we're speaking to our clients about trying to locate issues where they've received snippets of models like this, that can take even longer to find, right, in some of the more complex, larger projects.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
It's a big time saver. So hopefully, let's go back to Navisworks here and just demonstrate that. So in Navisworks, we have the same tools. I'll just click on the issue tracker button there, which now points Revizto to Navisworks. Double click, and there we go. So it works, and you can see it works really well. So regardless if it's 2D or 3D, that switchback works really, really well. So the engineers and the design team can deal with things much, much quicker. And we can create issues here in the authoring tool as well, on Navisworks here. So I can go in here.
And just to jump in with this while Rhys is creating this next issue, one of the the big benefits with people no longer working, you know, sat next door to each other as they would be before in the office. You can't just easily have that conversation with someone to say, where is it? You know, what exactly are you talking about? Where is it in the model? So having that direct switchback functionality means that as long as the person creates the issue in the first place correctly, you don't even need to ask them a question about where is it in the project. You just double click on it and straight away it will take you into the correct location in the model, so you know where it is, and then you can fix the problem without having to start a whole new dialogue with someone about that problem.
Perfect. Thanks, Lewis. And Lewis is working closely with a lot of our clients who are implementing this. So there's two or three more things I just want to rattle through just as the clock is ticking. So we've created some issues here. You can see it's the same process. We've created one in Navisworks, one in 3D, one in 2D, but they've all been logged and are being tracked and delivered here in real time in one application. So somebody doesn't have to run around and bring all of this information together, which means things can get missed, and that costs us all time, effort, and money. You'll notice though, some of these fields here I didn't complete, and these are really useful because they're feeding our reports. So we've thought we could automate the process here a little bit or make it leaner, and we've done that using our stamps. So stamps are issue templates and allow the team to create issues with a single click. So talking about going out onto site now, we can do everything I've shown you on a tablet, which I've got here. So the interface is exactly the same. Liam has just come online, and we'll try and do this in a second. So let's just come out here. I don't know, I'm out on site. Let's go back to the home section here. I know I've just walked down to the plant room, so I can jump into the plant room there, and something's been installing correctly. So on the tablet, I select my stamps. We've got one here for snag or defect. So all I do now is click, click, logged, done. That's now been logged, distributed in real time. And then on the iPad, I can take a picture, click snap, and that will attach that picture to that particular task. That could be a 360 image as well. So same with drawings. A lot of the site team will prefer to look at these in the drawings. We're in that room. A radiator has been installed incorrectly for whatever reason. So we click on that snag defect, click, click, done. Logged instantly. So I've taken 15 minutes explaining the first 3 issues I've created, and then created another 2 in a couple of seconds. So these issue stamps really are helping the team to, again, pick up pace and move things along much more rapidly, because it's single click and all of these fields have been included for me.
So Rhys, I don't know if you want to show the 360 image example that we've got, because currently as well, this is really beneficial because not everyone has to go out on site just to look in the same space. You can take your 360 photos, and people that are working from home have that ability to still see, exactly what it looks like above the floor, the ceiling void. You don't actually have to be on site up a ladder looking, so you can still work from home and still view what's going on site as well. So that's also really beneficial for people.
Yeah, you got it. So, and it's about that democratization and giving access to pretty much anyone, team in the office, working from home at site. So Lewis could collect all of that data, bring it together into Revizto and distribute that to the 50 people on the project. And you can see here, I'm not on site, but I almost feel like I am. There's lots more we could discuss, but I just want to show you 1 or 2 more things. So clashes, they're delivered in the same way, or treated in the same way as the architectural floor plan issue we just created. They're tracked and delivered here via Revizto. For this example, these have been brought through from Navisworks by syncing them here. We could talk in the details of that, but we effectively run our clash detection in Celebri or Navisworks, import the BCF file or export out from Navisworks here into Revizto, and they're treated in exactly the same way. So they've been assigned. We have the chat log. One thing that's really interesting here is if I hit on one of these, where we've got some clashes that have been grouped, we can see where those are. We've got the ability here to change the view, so we can really understand what's going on. We're coordinate system based, which if you've understood what I've been saying today, you'll understand what's happening here. So this clash has come through, and it now tells me what drawing sheets are affected by that clash directly in Revizto. We've got a 2D sheet compare tool as well, but in the interest of time and taking a couple of questions, one great feature that I'd like to share today is the ability to do a camera share. Now what this is, I can invite the project team and have our design review session directly in Revizto. So Lewis has just come online. You can see here on my tablet, that I've been invited in as well. So on the tablet here, we can see as I'm navigating through here, I just jump around. You should be able to see, or maybe Lewis, you want to show us around a particular area. So Lewis can request control. And what I'll do here is if we give him access, you can see my screen, a bit of Revizto inception here. And as Lewis starts to navigate around, we'll be able to see exactly what he's looking at in real time. So hopefully you can see my tablet, my screen, and both my tablet and my screen are here in my home office in Wales. Lewis is in central London, and we could have another 50 members of the team from various home offices right around the world. So Revizto really is the tool to bring project teams together, even more so at a time now when we need to collaborate. So thank you very much for listening. We can keep going, but we'll stop there with a few minutes to go and open the floor to questions if that's all right to the CitA team. So thanks, Lewis. Any questions?
It's Alan here. How are you?
Alan, I've missed you. I'm well, mate. How are you?
Not too bad. God, the product has come on leaps and bounds, hasn't it? Really,
yeah.
Over the last while. That last piece there really demonstrates the collaborative nature of the software, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely. And on that, Alan, what's been great for somebody in my role is to go back to clients and say, you know what, we understand your needs. We've listened and we've developed what you've asked for, tried our best to get as close as we can. So on that, I'll just give version 5 a plug as well. So in version 5, which is now in open beta, we've added a lot more search function. Or maybe you can comment on this, Lewis, you're our technical expert, the ability to do a lot more with that data, which is something that our clients have asked for. But it's all about listening to your clients, right, Alan?
Yeah. And I guess you haven't been doing as much traveling, Rhys. I hope all is well with you and the family at this time and so on. It's
yeah, no, it's been great actually, because I've spent more time at home with the family. So the little one may come in now and say hello to everyone if you're not careful. I told her I wouldn't. But we're actually busier than ever. We're in and out of meetings hour after hour. So I do miss the 30 minutes in between meetings that you once got when you're driving to the next one or jumping on the tube or whatever it is. But with all of everything being taken into account, the message that we're getting from our clients is everyone is still much busier than we would have thought if we were asked this question 6 months ago, and the industry continues to move forward digitally.
Yeah, maybe for Lewis as well. I mean, have you seen like that with the pandemic that there's been a real that people are being catapulted towards this technology now even more so?
Yeah, I think that's been the best thing almost for, to the situation. There's not many positives to take from it, but the fact that it really has digitized the industry, it has made people realize that, these are the platforms that we need to allow people to work from home, but still get all the same functionality they would do if they were in the office. So yeah, if there are positives to take from the current situation, it definitely has been the progress we've seen within the last 6 months about how quickly technology can be adopted across the industry. Like, it's taken a while for a lot of people to see it, but all of a sudden everyone's now keen to work digitally, work remotely. I'm sure the number of Zoom and team meetings has gone up exponentially as well since lockdown.
It has, and actually my last comment on that. Well, first of all, thank you very much for your presentation, Lisa, and we really do appreciate the support that Revizto has given CitA for CitA Tech Live.
Thanks for inviting us in.
We hope you can join us in a couple of weeks for the sessions. I'm sure the team will be sending out some complimentary passes for for you and your colleagues to join. Although I do appreciate you're all busy, but
we'll be there. We'll be there, mate.
That's great.
Rhys is presenting Alan on one of the days.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah.
Sorry, Rhys.
That's all right.
I'll be there anyway on your shoulder. Don't worry. And
as always,
you've been great supporters over the years. But one of the things actually in regard to the the sentiment of the industry at the moment, just maybe moving away from the technology just for a few minutes, is like people are very, very busy. Maybe they're on a reduced work week, or maybe there's some support being given by government or whatever for the companies. But there seems to be less time now, maybe, to do the nicer things, which is like, network like this online. Are you getting a sense of how the market's changing at all?
Yeah, I can take that one if you want. It does. Obviously, some companies have shrunk a little bit in manpower, shall we say? So we're hearing from some of our clients that they're having to do more with less. So hence the reason to be able to try to work smarter, not harder. Frustration, not being able to get back to what it was like, I think. So, but as Lewis says, the only positive from that is I did see a tweet or a post somewhere where somebody mentioned this. It's acted as almost we've needed a pandemic to cause innovation in the industry, and people are now really embracing these digital technologies because they need to. Because people, as we've talked about, can't tap each other on the shoulder and print stuff out and shout across the office, and a lot more to it than that. But which we all miss, of course. But I think it's on a positive note. Maybe I'm just a bit too overly optimistic, but I think we need to be it's help people realize that tools like ours and others are available to help you do your job in a more efficient way. So hopefully that's
and hopefully some Irish companies are buying your product. Yeah. Yes,
it's cool. Well, Lewis is working with a number of them, so doing great work with Joe Maddy and the team at DCT, who we met at CitA last year. So great guy, full of charisma and lots of digital innovation there. BAM, I think Colin Construction we're starting to work with. There's lots I can't remember off the top.
Good. Yeah,
but that's thanks to you guys giving us a platform to share how we can help with the local region.
We'll give you a shout out on the week of the event as well, but maybe pass the word to your network to come in to join us on the 21st to the 25th, if you can,
Oh, definitely.
Very much hoping the gathering will return in 21.
Yeah. Fingers crossed.
Hopefully things will improve, So thank you.
We'll get that game of golf as well then, hopefully.
Yeah.
So, not played much.
That's great, Rhys. Thanks a million.
Thank you, everybody. Really appreciate your time and the platform to speak to everyone. So keep up the great work. We'll speak to you guys soon.
Did we record this, Suzanne? We did?
Yeah, they're all recorded and then they go out live on the social media channels. So yeah.
All right.
Yeah. I thought I didn't swear. Excellent.
Thanks, Rhys. Thanks, Lewis.
Cheers, everyone. Thank you.
Talk to you soon.